Okay, it's day 162, part 4, and this is kind of an amalgamation of the feedback from the first 3 videos. I talked about Obama being on a high-speed boat, a high-speed plane, going to a Trappist monastery for this really special beer, this Trappist monk beer, and then this animal pharma being close by, where this woman was killed by the Saipov trucker. This gal named, let's just call her Decade. Probably be a decade before anybody looks into her death. But anyway, prominent family kind of in this western part of near the border by France in Belgium. And I thought, gee whiz, you know, if you were crooked, if you were running an operation in the US, especially Virginia, called Operation Cassandra, well, why wouldn't you just do a Cassandra in Belgium too? Give the local people there a high-speed, let's say, ship, you know, with a helicopter landing pad like a littoral ship, and give them a high-speed helicopter, you know, that was a whisper copter that could come in at night to, let's say, a remote location like a Trappist monastery, and give them a cover, give the monks a cover for drug purification or whatever, where no one is allowed to go, and really restrict the hours and times and provide a safe haven, a religious cover. And then every once in a while you could have these gypsies come bring you kids in Paris for your Jeffrey Epstein Paris shows, and then they could take back drugs. You know, they could kind of, gypsy don't have any money, so they pay with kids and they take back drugs. That's not what I was saying, and I wasn't saying the, you know, Doug Gabriel background, being a Trappist monk in any way, was kind of anything related to that. But what I did want to say though is this idea of extracting resources from other countries, whether it be the mineral resources or the human resources, does look like what the the Department of Defense is doing. Now, I did want to make one kind of speak up, and I feel bad about speaking up for DIA because everybody says, oh, DIA agent. Well, first of all, there's 2 types of DIA agents that I know about. One's a counter-intel agent, which is if Q is getting really popular, I break into Q, I say a whole bunch of meaningless things, everybody, you know, stops following it, and then they have to get a new Q, so there'd be like 3 Qs. I don't know if that's ever happened before. So that's a CI agent. The other one's a CS agent. It's a cover story agent, right? Cover support, they call it, and I make knocks. So let's say I'm going to have the Defense Department's going to use, Morel wants to use sarin gas all over in Syria. Well, I go create somebody like the Syrian Observatory of Human Rights, and I put it out in Canterbury, England, for the oil executive of my choice, and then I write cover stories. I'm Jeremy Bash, and I sit down with, you know, all the people at the DC Bureau, and I write a story about how mean people are, and I come up with the white helmets, and maybe I get George Clooney to come to a dinner, and that's called cover support. Those are the 2 types of agents. But I will say this, the same exact drug ring was busted a couple of times going through Belgium by DIA agents. And one of the famous cases is Pan Am 113, where a lot of DIA agents bringing people back to testify to New York were blown up in that case. I know a lot of people won't believe that, DIA being good guys. DIAs can be good guys, they can be bad guys, and the same as CIA. So I say just look at the evidence as it goes and don't try to label people, but get down to the Defense Cover Office and see what they do, and see what Jeremy Bash does, and see what, if they ever gave a non-official cover to Eric Braverman or Neil Brown, because they did. And that still is going to be the key to this story. The oil, follow the oil lines, follow the gas and oil rat lines. You're going to follow the weapons the other direction, follow the drugs, follow the kids, and follow the prisoners that don't need their organs anymore.